And I got robbed of that opportunity.
I know.
And we
I got robbed of the
are
opportunity.
live. Hello, world. And I'm just double checking. We should be. I'm just it's not a delay. So there you are.
Break legs.
All right.
Thank
You are being seen. And it's 15 seconds to showtime. Hi, Doug. This is really helpful. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening. It's 8 o'clock and it's time for our live script reading of Mother of the Maid by Jane Anderson. And I'm going to have our cast introduce themselves to you, and then I'm going to let them get to it. Tonight, you are going to hear in the role of Isabel,
Stacy Skinner,
Joan,
Julie Luzier,
Jacques,
Jim Fryer,
Pierre and the prison guard,
Steve Travers,
Father Gilbert, the chamberlain and the court scribe,
and Kendall.
the lady of the court,
Melissa Davenport.
with stage directions read by,
Taylor Rouliard.
and there will be a 5-minute intermission after the first act. All right, then, if everyone is ready, the time is around 14:29. The place is France. This is Mother of the Maid.
Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up on Isabel Ark sitting on a stool in the dim interior of the Ark home, cleaning a pile of sheep's wool, pulling out the burrs and twigs and the bits of dirtus. The better to see, she herself is up in a rectangle of late afternoon light that comes through the open door. Monotonous sounds from the outside drift in, cicadas, a few birds, and someone chopping wood somewhere.
Isabel Ark is a God-fearing woman. She can neither read nor write, and her skirts smell ripe as cheese. But she can do all sorts of handy things, such as gutting a lamb, lancing a boil, and hiding the family valuables during a raid. She has never blamed God for a blessed thing. When she lost a baby daughter to the bloody flux, she barely shed a tear. Not that she didn't love the child. She knows motherhood is a numbers game and you're bound to lose a few before you're done. Isabel is grateful to have a daughter as healthy and hardy as her Joan. She's grateful for her sons, who are healthy and hardy as well. She's grateful that the English haven't slaughtered them like they did with the Lebecs. Nancy Lebec was her best friend. And they gossiped and laughed while they spun. Isabel badly misses her friend. And sometimes Isabel wishes that her Joan would be a little more chatty. But still, Isabel Ark counts her blessings. Grateful, grateful, grateful. That's what Isabel tries to be.
A church bell tolls somewhere off in the distance. Isabel dutifully mumbles a quick prayer, then resumes her endless picking. Joan comes in from the field looking flushed and distracted.
There you are. Where you been?
And up on the hill with the sheep.
Sheep came down a while ago.
Well, that's where I've been.
A lot of birds in the hole. Taking me all day to clean it. Don't know what you're letting them sheep get into.
Not getting into anything they haven't before.
Well, they are. A lot of crappy little bits in here. You need to keep those sheep out of the scrub.
Not going in the scrub.
Seems they are, seeing all the pricklies I'm having to pick out.
I'll pick them out if it bothers you so much.
Joan sets a stool apart from her mother and starts picking through the wool.
Why are you working there in the dim? Who Move over here where you can see.
I can see fine.
You'll strain your eyes. You'll wear them out. You only got one set of eyes. Gotta treat them right. Go on. Set yourself in this nice patch of light.
Joan scoots her stool into the rectangle of light and continues to pick through the wool, with her head bent down so Isabel can't look at her face.
If you straighten up, you'll see all the better. You hunch over like that, you'll crook your back. Start looking like some old crone.
All right, Ma.
Not going after you. Just noticing you're not yourself. Been noticing a change.
Just doing my job, Ma.
Zip the Bon Air boy. You feeling something for him?
God, no.
He's sweet on you. I seen him looking at you.
If he's getting ideas about me, not my fault.
Not anyone's fault. It's natural for a boy to be looking at you. You're a good-looking girl. Nothing wrong with it if he's having a look.
Let him look. Nothing to me.
He'll grow on you. He's decent. Works hard. And not so bad on the eyes. You think he's all serious business, then he smiles and gets that little dimple in his cheek. I like a man with a dimple, don't you?
You marry him then.
Why are you being so crabby?
Don't give a crap about Dennis Bonehair's dimple. Oh, sweet Jesus, Ma. There's a war on. There's bigger things to discuss.
Fine. You want to sit here and talk about finding a severed head in the well? Is that what you want to chat about?
Not saying I do.
What do you want to talk about then?
Don't need to talk right now.
Don't know what you need more quiet for when you haven't talked to a blessed soul all day. Only so much you can keep turning around in your head before you're bored to tears.
Not bored, Ma.
I'm glad you have such a lively mind that keeps you in such nice company. Good for you. Goody good for you.
Okay, Ma.
Just need to say one thing. Don't get worked up now. When I was bringing up your lunch, I saw you lying on the ground in the upper field. Whatever you've been doing, ain't nothing so terrible. It's a normal part of wanting a man.
You thought I was diddling myself?
Whatever it is, might as well come clean with me. Better I find out before your father does, so as I can smooth the way. Oh, I've seen it all, my dear. I know things. I've done things. Whatever it is, we'll keep between us. Did someone get you pregnant?
No, Ma, no.
What is it, love? Something scare you? You can tell me.
I'm having holy visions, Ma.
Oh, my sweet girl. Why didn't you just come out and tell me?
Dunno, still sorting it out.
But you could have told me. Not something you need to hide from me.
As I said, I'm sorting it out.
What kind of visions?
St. Catherine been appearing to me.
Oh, she's a lovely saint. Well, that's lovely, Joni. How long has this been going on?
A while now.
What does she look like? Is she wearing robes and all?
Not looking at her clothes, Ma.
She have a halo?
Yeah, there's a glow around her head.
That sounds about right. How does she come to you? Give me the step by step.
I start out praying, go on for a few hours or so.
You can pray for that long?
Yeah, sure.
But do you doze a bit?
No, Ma.
It happens. I doze sometimes when I'm in church. Sometimes your eyes get heavy and you take a quick snooze and you dream a bit.
No, Ma, I don't get dozy. I don't doze when I pray. I don't do that.
All right. Go on. You pray, and then what happens?
When St. Catherine's about to appear to me, everything gets real sharp, vibrant like, you understand?
Sure.
The sounds around me, they get loud. Birds, cicadas, the bees in the clover, the sheep grinding their teeth, and the smells. Dirt, water, wool, the taste of the turnip I had for lunch, it all gets very large, you see, and wondrous. Even the dung balls on the sheep's arses are gorgeous to me. I see it all as part of God's creation, you know?
Sure. That's lovely, yes.
And then there's a light that blocks it all out, and a hum,
A hum.
a tingle
Cupping her heart and then her groin.
that I feel here and here.
I see.
And she's there, and we come together.
Together how?
She fills me. She slays me. She takes me apart.
Have you talked to Father Gilbert about this?
Yeah,
What'd he say?
he said all the girls love St. Catherine, and I weren't the only one who claimed to see her. I told him it wasn't a claim, it was a fact, but all I got was a pat on the head.
Well, seems he don't think it was real.
Well, it is. I'm not some stupid girl who hears la 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 around the fairy tree. I'm being called to serve, Ma.
You want to be a nun?
No, don't want to be no nun, spend all day staring at a wall.
That's not all it's about. If you get in a good convent, they'll teach you how to read and write. And if you play your cards right, you could become an abbess. Abbesses get to tell people what to do. You'd like that.
Don't want to be no lousy abbess. I'm meant for a worldly life.
Then you got to get married.
Don't want a husband.
Well, you're going to have to marry someone, girlie. Your brothers will have their own wives. They're not going to take care of you.
Don't need the brothers. God has a plan for me.
And what's that?
Never mind.
Not never mind. What plan?
Nothing.
Not nothing. What plan?
He wants me to lead an army and drive the English out of France.
St. Catherine told you this.
That's right.
Joni, the only girls who follow armies are whores. You know that?
I won't be following an army. I'll be leading it.
Really?
Sorry that you doubt me, Ma. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, stop. Get off your high horse.
Didn't expect you to understand.
Listen, my girl, if your father finds out about this soldiering thing, he's going to beat you bloody.
Let him. He can't stop me.
Oh, yes, he can.
Let him go against God.
And what makes you the spiritual authority around here, Missy? You need a good slap.
Go ahead. See where that gets you.
Joni, whatever strange thing is going on in your head, I get strange thoughts too. With all the horrible, hateful things been going on, who's to blame us? It's just a matter of chasing those thoughts out of your head. Just sweep them out of your head. Whoosh! Like sweeping out the floor.
For sweet sake, Ma.
Joni, no one's gonna let you lead an army.
It's already happening.
What are you talking about?
When you sent me to stay with Cousin Durand and Michelle, there's a castle a day's walk from them. I got Durand to take me there to meet the captain.
You went to some castle.
Yeah,
You were supposed to be taking care of your cousin Michelle and the baby. What's the matter with you?
Durand and Michelle was fine with it.
They know about this vision thing?
Yeah, told him.
Before you told me?
What do you care? You don't believe me anyway.
And they do.
Yeah, they had me bless their rosaries.
Who are you to go blessing people's rosaries? You're not a priest. Shame on you for making fools of your cousins.
I'm not playing anybody for anything. I'm following God's orders, Ma. Oh, sweet Jesus, you think this has been easy for me? You think I asked for this?
Would you like me to have a talk with St. Catherine?
A talk?
I could tell her this ain't a sensible thing to ask of you.
Oh, Ma,
Oh, Ma, what?
she's not going to appear to you.
And why not?
You can't just call up a holy saint. It doesn't work like that.
Don't get high-handed with me, girlie. I've been praying a lot longer than you have.
Okay, Ma.
Okay, what?
Just so you know, I'm leaving in 2 weeks.
For where?
Captain is getting together an escort for me to go meet the dolphin.
What captain?
I told you, the one at the castle.
You just waltzed up to him and told him that you're going to save France.
He knows I'm the real thing. He said I had the glow.
Oh, sure. Wonder what else he thinks you have.
God, you and your dirty mind.
And who's going to be in this escort? Any nuns traveling with you?
What do I need fucking nuns for?
You can't be traveling alone with a bunch of men.
St. Catherine said it's fine.
Oh, really, my darling? And will St. Catherine be there to keep them from ripping your skirts over your head?
Won't be wearing skirts. I'll be wearing men's gear.
Men's gear.
Tunic and hose. And I'm cutting my hair.
You'll do no such thing.
It's my hair. I'll do what I want with it.
Isabel slaps her.
Don't know how you think a slap from you could change my mind.
Isabel slaps her again.
I'm your mother. You'll do what I say.
You don't have a say, Ma. It's up to God, not you.
Don't you dare use God's name to disobey me. Don't you dare. Who do you think you are?
I'm the maid.
What maid?
I know you're confused, Ma.
I'm not confused. I'm furious. You're a stubborn, reckless girl, and you have no idea what you're doing.
I forgive you.
Don't you go forgiving me. That's not your place.
Bless you, Ma.
Stop that.
Bless you.
Stop it, Joan.
Bless you.
Isabel slaps her again.
Fine. Go to hell.
Scene 2. Joan is being held down by her brother Pierre while her father Jacques beats her with a stick. Isabel is standing by, looking grieved.
No daughter of mine's gonna go whoring after an army.
Hitting me won't change my mind.
Get those voices out of your head or I'll lock you up.
Can't, Dad.
Can't or you won't.
Can't when I know I'm right.
Jacques hits her again.
Jacques, stop.
Let him, Ma. I can take it.
Oh, you're a tough one, aren't you?
Guess I am.
Joan wipes at her eyes.
You crying now?
Yeah, so?
Oh, can't lead an army if you cry like a girl.
Not crying like a girl.
Crying more like what then? A boy?
I'm crying because my ass hurts.
Leave her alone now.
What's with you wanting to wear men's clothes? You be a guy? You sweet on girls?
Shut it.
That's enough. Leave her alone.
Want me to have a go at her, Dad?
Nah, get the cow collar.
You gonna lock me up now, Dad?
That's right. Till you get your head screwed on straight.
That's a lovely thing to do, chaining up your daughter like a piece of livestock. When my escort gets here, they're gonna think you're quite the man.
Don't get smart with your dad.
Not getting smart, just letting him know what's what.
I held back on you, you know. If a soldier gets a hold of you, there's no mercy.
Yeah, I seen what they can do. We could all get slaughtered anyway, sitting here dumb as a sheep.
Bite your tongue.
Pierre comes back with the cow collar and a lock and chain and starts buckling around Joan's waist.
It's true, Ma. We could be the next Lebecs. I've gotten the call to save our country. I have the backing of God Almighty himself, and you want to hold me back?
It's because you're out of your nut.
That's your own ignorance. I have people out there who believe me.
Fucking cousin Durand? He's a moron.
I got a high-ranking captain with connections to the royal court. I got a bishop. I got the entire city of Vocalors who know I'm the maid. But my own family treats me like dirt.
We're just looking out for you, Joni.
This is looking out for me? What you're doing to me is wrong. It's sinful. Your doubting could send you all to hell.
Don't you threaten us, girl.
Shame on you.
I'm just saying it because I love you, Dad. I'm sorry you can't see that I'm right.
Chain her to the bed.
I will not let this family crush me.
Pierre takes Joan off.
Oh, Jacques, what have we done? She hates us.
I'll get over it.
Scene 3. Jacques and Isabel are with their local priest, Father Gilbert. He's showing them a parchment.
This was just said to me from the Bishop of Vaucouleurs. He was apparently very impressed with Joan.
So she did meet him.
Oh, yes, let me read you a bit. I declare by the authority of the church and Jesus Christ that she is a pious, pure, and godly young woman.
Well, that's good to know.
He also goes on to confirm that she's a virgin. Also nice to know.
They inspected her?
It's a routine procedure, all done very properly. But listen to this. This young woman possesses extraordinary charismatic powers for one so young, naive, and unrefined. This can only be attributed to her saintly visitations, which I have found to be authentic.
That's what it says.
Yes, it's in the section right here.
So this bishop believes her about St. Catherine and all.
Oh, yes, he does. In fact, he goes on to say that he's quite certain that she's the maid referred to in the prophecy.
So it's a prophecy now. Sounds to me like some folk tale gotten out of hand.
No, it's very well known in upper ecclesiastical community.
This is all written down somewhere.
Yes, it's referred to in the Historia Ecclesiastica.
You've seen it.
No, the text is kept in the vault in Rome.
So you never seen them words. You never read them for yourself.
Jacques, please, I'm not some backwater priest. I've studied in Paris. I know my holy texts.
Jacques don't mean any disrespect, Father. We're both in a bit of a shock.
Of course, I understand.
So you really think our Joan is this maid person?
Yes, Isabel, I do.
Seems Joan told you about these visions and you didn't seem none too impressed.
I wouldn't say I wasn't impressed. I just believe in proceeding with caution with young girls who can be rather fanciful. But you know, Joan has always struck me as having a very special presence.
So you really think she has it?
Oh, yes. Oh, I remember this time. I was walking back through the square and there were some boys throwing rocks at a lame cat. Your Joan was just a little bit of a thing. She picked up the cat and faced off those boys and said, "Next stone that's thrown, let it pass through me."
You remember that cat, Dad? She brought it home.
Yeah, drowned it.
I hope you both know that you have an extraordinary daughter.
Well, we've done our best to raise her up right, haven't we, Dad?
So what are you saying here? You're saying our daughters to join an army and liberate France?
Apparently, yes.
Oh, come off it, Father. You really believe that?
I don't think God needs for Joan to actually go into battle. Of course not. Her role will be symbolic. We're a depressed country. There's no real leadership. And I believe that it's God's plan to use Joan to inspire the army to victory.
She'll be someone to go along and keep the troops cheerful.
Exactly.
That makes sense, don't it, Dad?
Soldier's a swine, is he? She could end up on the side of the road, raped with her belly slit. You thought of that?
I understand your concern, Jacques. Of course, soldiers can be vulgar, but Joan is a virgin maid, and even the crudest knight will be kneeling in front of her, asking for her blessing.
So you think St. Catherine will keep her safe?
Absolutely. She's on this path, and God and his saints will protect her.
You guarantee that? Can you get that in writing on your fancy parchment there?
It's a matter of faith, Jacques. But if you're having any conflicts about your trust in God, we should talk about it.
My faith is solid enough.
It's just hard for us not to worry about what could happen to our girl. I think that's what Jacques is trying to say.
Here's a suggestion. Why don't you send one of her brothers to go along with her as a family chaperone?
Can't spare the labor.
If you need to hire some extra hands, I could have the church provide the funds.
That's very generous, Father.
Don't think so.
Jacques, your family doesn't have a choice. It's God's will. I hope you both understand that.
Yes, we do.
And just so you know, word about Joan is spreading. I've already had quite a few pilgrims stop by the church asking where she lives. Of course, for your family's sake, I didn't say, but you should be prepared for more people coming through here. They'll know who you are, and they'll be watching you. If they feel just a pinch of disbelief coming from any of you, that could be disastrous for Joan. Do you understand?
Yes, Father.
And Jacques, there's no need to beat Joan anymore.
Wasn't planning to.
Good. As I said, she has a greater father to obey now.
Thank you for coming by, Father. We don't want to take up any more of your time.
Oh, I'll give you as much of my time as you need. We have some extraordinary days ahead of us. Bless you both, my dears.
Father Gilbert touches Isabel's head in a blessing. He considers doing the same for Jacques, but thinks better of it and leaves.
Oh, Jacques, it's real.
Don't be so gullible, Izzy. He wants to use our daughter to put his parish on the map. He's saying, my soul's on the line if I won't go along with his scheme. How bloody dare him?
Fine. You'd rather believe that your daughter's a lunatic? She ain't a flighty girl, Jacques. She ain't like that fairy tree crowd who get hysterical every time they see a leaf move. She takes after you. She don't put up with no nonsense, and she works hard. Even the way she prays, she sticks to it like a job to be done. Makes sense that God would pick her. And look at all these fancy people who think she's really something. That bishop and that captain who's an educated noble type. They wouldn't send some peasant girl to court for a joke. Now, would they? They have their reputations to look after.
Still don't believe it.
You don't believe it because your pride's been hurt.
Come off it.
Come off it yourself. And don't think it didn't hurt me to be the last to know. Well, get over it. She's special, Jacques. Everyone sees it. And who are we to hold her back? It'd be a sin to keep her down just because we acted like a couple of stupid peasants.
Stupid peasants believe everything that's told to them.
So you'd rather keep her chained to her bed in some cow collar? If our girl ain't raving now, that'll put her over.
It's my job to see things clear for this family.
Well, I see things too, clearer than you sometimes. It's a horrible, horrible world, Jacques. Why would you want to crush this one bit of wonder that's come our way? Our girl's been chosen, and we both should be fierce proud.
Go ahead then. You tell her she can go.
It's up to the both of us.
No, don't think so. Let it be on your head, not mine.
Jacques leaves. Isabel stands there for a beat, now starting to feel a little sick with doubt. She pulls out her rosary and starts to pray.
Blessed Saint Catherine, illumine my ignorant heart with thy heavenly light. Blessed Saint Catherine, illumine my ignorant heart with thy heavenly light. Blessed Saint Catherine, illumine my ignorant heart with thy heavenly light.
A shaft of light hits Isabel's face. She stares up at the light and lets out a small gasp of wonder.
There you are. Glory.
Scene 4. Lights up on Isabel's spinning wool. Joan enters and stands in front of her mother.
Hey, Ma, what do you think?
Joan's hair is now cut, and she is wearing a doublet, breeches, and hose that look like they've been borrowed from a low-ranking page.
Well, no one's going to be bothering you looking like that.
I had extra ties put on my breeches, see? They're all attached to my doublet, so no one can pull my knickers off.
How are you going to take a wee? Can't just squat in your skirts anymore.
Yeah, that's something to figure out.
What happened to your breasts?
I bound them.
Your nipples will flatten. Can't feed a baby with flat nipples.
Yeah, sure.
Just saying, girl. You listen to your mom.
Pierre enters, carrying a second-hand sword in a scabbard with some wild flowers in his fist.
Hey, did you see my horse?
Yeah, looks like a good ride.
He's fast. I tried yours out too, and he'll do. Nice and steady. But What's with all these fucking flowers in his mane?
Was the fairy tree girls. They asked to braid it.
Pierre tosses the flowers on the floor.
Dopey girls. I'll go take the rest of them out.
Oh, leave the flowers in. The horse looks darling.
Ma, she can't ride like that. Here, I sharpened up your sword. Take a look.
Joan pulls out the sword of a scabbard and checks out the blade.
Had to bang out a lot of nicks. Whoever had it wasn't using it right. It was like they was hacking at rocks.
More like helmets, wouldn't you say?
Never hit a helmet with a sword like this, you understand? It'll wreck the blade. This is for running someone through. Use the tip to go between the armor plates and find a soft spot and you ram it through.
You won't be using that thing now. Stop.
I'm just telling her, Ma. I greased it up, so it's easy to draw. Try it.
Joan yanks the sword out and thrusts it into the Englisher's gut.
Ha!
Stop that. Get that thing out of here.
It's just a sword, Ma.
She was just trying out the sword, Ma.
I don't want it in my house. Take it outside. Go on.
Okay, Ma, calm down.
Pierre leaves with the sword and scabbard.
What's the problem, Ma?
I raised you to be kind. And now you're acting like it's some big thrill for you to be killing people.
I'm not gonna kill anyone. The sword is just for show.
Well, it's an ugly show. And the way you're strutting around in your man's clothes. I don't think that's how St. Catherine would want you to be.
St. Catherine thinks I look fine.
Well, I think you look strange. You don't look like my daughter.
Still your daughter. Got the same face.
You're acting like a toughie. You're swaggering.
Not swaggering.
You are. You have this strange, mannish look in your eyes. You need to watch yourself.
I do watch myself. That's all I do is watch myself.
Don't shout at me.
And don't call me strange. I'm not strange. Sweet Jesus, I have enough on my head without you putting me down.
Oh, Joni, come here.
No.
Come to your mum. Come on.
Isabel puts her arms around Joan.
No need for us to fight. Come on. Hug us back. You haven't had a good hug in a long time. Never too big for a hug. Come on.
Joan lets herself be held.
There we go.
Oh, Mama, this is scaring the shit out of me.
I know, my sweet girl. Oh, I know. Do you want to know something? I was praying to your St. Catherine, and she came to me. She did. This lovely beam of light shone down on me, right here. It warmed my face as if she was saying to me, don't worry, Isabel. I'm going to look after your girl.
Was it coming from that window up there with the crack in the pane?
Yes, right from there.
That was the sun, Ma. It always hits that window at a certain time of day. It gets at a certain angle and it shoots through it. It's nothing special.
Oh.
Come on, you've seen it.
No, never have.
A real visitation, it's not just some light on your face, you understand? That's not how it works. It goes deeper than that.
Aren't I a dope?
Well, don't be hurt, Ma. Just explaining it how it is.
Well, glad you did.
Pierre comes back in.
You done with her, Ma? Our escorts are here. They want to get going.
All right. Here, I packed you some food for the road. There's a loaf of bread in there, some boiled eggs. Your dad picked some of his plums. He said to wait a day or two to let them ripen up. Make sure you say goodbye to him. He's in the upper field. He won't say much, but know that he loves you. Give him a proper hug.
I will, Ma.
You watch after your sister and watch yourself.
Don't worry, Ma. I'll bring you back something nice from the court. Maybe a fancy cup.
Just bring yourselves back. Be smart.
Will do.
Pierre goes back out.
Goodbye, Mama.
I love you, Joni.
I love you, Mama.
Joan hugs her mother hard.
All right. All right now. You be good.
Will do, Ma.
Joan bounds out. Isabel stands at the door of the house, squinting out at the daylight that's pouring in from outside. We can hear Joan give the men in the escort a hearty greeting.
Isabel Ark watched her daughter walk up to the rough-looking men who were waiting for her in the yard. One of the men gave her daughter a leg up on her horse and fixed her stirrup. Isabel studied the face of the men for any sign of lascivious thoughts. But no, he was all business, and so was her Joan. But then
We hear a horse whinny.
Whoa, boy.
there was a bee in a flower that was left in a horse's mane, and the beast was swinging his head in a panic, starting to buck. Oh, sweet God, Joanie!
I got it, Ma.
Cool as can be, Joan reined the beast back in and calmed him down. How did she know how to do that? How on earth did she know? Joan picked the flower out of the horse's mane and dropped it to the ground. Then she turned her horse round and followed her brother and the men out the gate. Joanie, take care of yourself! But Joan didn't hear her. She was already chatting it up with the men, so confident, so capable, so her own person. I raised an extraordinary young woman.
Isabel picks the flowers that Pierre had tossed to the ground.
Oh, well, that's that.
Scene 5. Isabel is serving up food to Jacques and to Pierre, who is now wearing nicer clothes from court.
How was Joan when she met the Dauphin? Did they give her a gown?
No, she was wearing what she was traveling in.
Her men's clothes.
Yeah,
No one thought it was odd?
yeah, sure. But the Dauphin is an odd one, too.
I've heard that. Simpleton, not all there.
Nah, Ma, he's a really smart guy. Just a little wonky. He don't look anyone in the eye.
But Joan made a good impression on him. They get along.
He's giving her an army, Ma. I'd say that's getting along.
How many troops are they giving her?
Couple of hundred or so. Hey, they measured me for armor. I'm getting a full suit, brand new.
You're not fighting, are you?
Yeah, of course.
You ain't trained, son. You can't just walk into battle wearing 50 pounds of plate.
I won't be walking. I'll be on a horse. Look at the sword they gave me. And check out the blade. It's twice fired. Try the grip.
Very nice. Put it away.
I don't like this.
Ma, they're making me a knight.
Who's in charge of this thing? Who's your commander?
Joan's the commander.
But who's in charge who knows what they're doing?
There's a duke named Denoy. He's been working the front at Orleans.
You know who he is?
I've heard of him.
Is he a good commander?
We're losing the war. Hasn't done shite so far, has he?
Well, that's why they're bringing in Joan.
She's a banner bearer, boy. She doesn't know anything about military strategy.
Yeah, but St. Catherine will be advising her.
Christ.
Dad, you're not going to send her out with a pile of men just to get them slaughtered. They all think she is something. If you were there at court, you'd get it.
Court is filled with bootlickers. Whatever the idiot king wants, everyone goes along with it.
He's not an idiot. I think you need to show a little more respect for the Dauphin.
Aren't you proper?
I ain't a fool, Dad. I know what's what.
Do ya?
Not like you've been anywhere.
Don't you talk to me that way.
Let's just have our meal nice and peaceful, can we? Pass your father the ale. By the way, the Dupree girl has been asking after you. You might want to pay her a visit before you go back.
I got plenty of ladies to visit at court.
Big stud, are you? Better keep your cock in your pants.
Oh, Jacques,
I'm done.
get back down and eat.
I'm not hungry. I'm going to go see John.
You just got here.
I haven't seen him. He wants to hear what's going on.
Then tell your brother to come back here for the night so we can all be together.
Yeah, I don't know. He might go out.
Don't get drunk. I need you two in decent shape tomorrow. We're putting up a wall.
Yeah, I'll see.
What do you mean you'll see?
Means what it sounds like. I have things to do.
You're to help your dad tomorrow. Don't argue that.
I'm the maid's knight. I ain't hauling rocks for some fucking wall.
Jacques lunges at Pierre and grabs him by the scruff of the neck.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Let go of me.
You pompous little prick.
Stop it. That's enough.
You're gonna goddamn listen to me.
Pierre pulls out his sword.
I'm gonna stick you, Dad.
Stop that.
Your house before I break your bloody neck.
Pierre, put that thing away. Jacques, go outside and cool yourself. Please go, sweetheart.
Jacques leaves. Isabel turns on Pierre.
What's the matter with you threatening your dad with a sword? Who the hell do you think you are?
He messed with me, Ma.
I don't want to hear it. Where do you get off acting like some prince? Your sister would be appalled. She might be the maid, my dear, but she wouldn't think of refusing to help this family. She helped me spin 10 pounds of wool before the two of you took off.
And I helped Dad get a bunch of lambs.
And you'll clean the pig's arse if he asks you to. I don't care who you are at that court, but you're never to talk back to your father again.
Okay, Ma.
I'll tell you one thing, my boy. If you want to come back to this from this war, you better have a little more humility. And you better pray. Pray hard, my darling. Pray to be a better man. Otherwise, I see no reason why God would want to save your sorry hide. Your sister may be spared, but you'll just be one more rotting corpse on the battlefield.
I'm sorry, Ma.
I don't want to lose you.
You won't lose me, Ma.
Can't do it.
Come on, there's nothing to worry about. I say my prayers every day. I got this covered.
Isabel touching his face.
Look at you. So handsome.
I'm doing well, Ma.
You look well fed.
Yeah, I've been eating pretty well at court.
Is Joni getting nice and plump?
Not really. She don't eat the way I do.
I'm sure the food is too rich for her. Is her stomach nervous?
She's restless, yeah.
Has she made any friends?
Not really her kind of people.
Snooty types.
They're all right, but you know her. She likes to keep to herself.
But she gets along.
Sure.
She has a comfortable place to sleep?
She's got her own room, with her own valet.
That hasn't made her head swell.
She ain't impressed by the stuff.
Is she homesick?
Yeah, a bit.
My girl. I need to see her.
It's a long trek, Ma, and not too safe. I'd take you, but I gotta get back. Look, I'll be on my horse at gallop most of the way.
I can go on my own. I'll be fine. St. Catherine will watch after me.
Sure wouldn't look too good for her, the maid's mom getting whacked on the road.
Your dad won't like it, but that's too bad. I'll find someone to cook for him, and I'll need to make myself something to wear. I don't expect to be with all the fancy people, but I still want to look decent.
Don't want to meet you, Ma.
Oh, no, they won't.
Sure they will. They'll be all over you.
I don't want to intrude. Tell Joni that I won't be in the way. I'll just tuck in somewhere. I'll cook for her if they'll let me use the kitchen.
Sure.
Is it lovely, the castle?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Posh.
Rugs on the floor?
Yeah, on the walls too.
Is there gold everywhere?
No, Ma. No one's got gold but the church.
Sure.
But they got a lot of nice things around. I drank out a glass cup at dinner.
Did you?
They kept it filled too. Always someone there to pour you some more.
I'd like to try that, drinking out of a glass.
I can arrange for that. And the court musicians are friends of mine. I'll get them to play you some tunes for you.
Oh, what fun.
I'll show you a good time, Ma.
Ah, you sweet boy, give us a hug. Oh, this will be grand, won't it?
Grander than you think.
I can do this.
Sure you can.
Aren't I something?
You are, Ma.
Look at me. I'm the mother of the maid.
Scene 6. Sound of pouring rain. Lights up on Isabel hunkered down in the rain.
Isabel Ark walked 300 miles to see her girl, praying the whole way she wouldn't get lost or killed. She walked over rocks. She walked through mud. She walked in storms that left her soaked to the skin. She beat back dogs who bit at her heels. She walked on knees that screamed in their sockets. She walked on blisters that ate at her toes. 'Twas nothing to her when she thought of her girl who'd be there at the gates to welcome her in. They'd walk together, arm in arm through the court. They'd show all those so-and-sos what the Ark women are made of. But when Isabel finally got to the castle, the guards wouldn't let her through while they looked for someone to speak for her. They made her stand in the gutter for half the day till they opened the gates and let the soggy old woman in.
The set transitions to a chamber in the Dauphin's castle. Grand, bright with gilt and rich colors, in a stark contrast to the dim interior of the Ark home. Isabel's shoes are cracked with mud, and her traveling cloak and skirts are soiled from the hard trip. The lady of the court sweeps in.
Hello there. Are you the maid's mother?
Yes, my lady. Yes, I am.
I am so sorry you've had to wait. Your daughter's leaving for the siege tomorrow, and she has a lot of people to see before she goes.
She's leaving tomorrow?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It took longer than I thought for me to get here. There was a lot of rain and mud and such. And the road got flooded and the bridge gave out and I was robbed and lost my way.
Oh no, how awful.
And now my daughter's leaving?
You don't have to worry. We'll make sure you have plenty of time with her. But you poor thing, your feet must be killing you.
They could use a rest, yes.
Let's get you a foot bath.
Oh, you don't have to bother with that.
It's no bother. Let me call one of my chamber staff. Oh, Monique.
Monique, her lady-in-waiting, comes in.
Set us up with a foot bath, please. Would you like anything to drink? Some mead?
Yes, all right, thank you.
Bring us a pitcher, will you?
Monique exits.
Have you seen my son, Pierre? He was supposed to meet me here. I don't know where he's gone to.
Oh, he may be out on a hunt.
Has he been looking after his sister?
I'm sure he has, but you don't need to worry about your daughter. She's very serious about her mission. She's not distracted by the young men around here.
Is everyone fine with the way she's dressed?
Oh, we think it's charming. In fact, she started a trend. Some of the young ladies here have ordered doublets.
Well, that's something.
You must be very proud of your daughter.
She's a good girl.
Joan is a very special soul.
I hope she's been behaving herself.
Oh, she's perfect. She's very outspoken, but we all love her for that. The Dauphin adores her.
He does. Oh, good.
Monique comes back with a tray with 2 glass cups and a pitcher of mead.
May I pour for you?
Yes, please.
The lady of the court pours Isabel a cup and hands it to her, then pours a generous cup for herself. Isabel holds the glass cup with reverence.
It's a lovely cup.
There are nicer cups, but I've gotten tired of asking for them. Votre santé.
They drink. Isabel can't help but gulp it down.
Oh, it's delicious. Sweet.
They use honey from the castle hives.
Oh, are they special bees?
They're just bees. But they do get their nectar from the royal garden, so I suppose their honey is quite special. I'll get you a jar.
Oh, thank you. Lovely.
Monique comes back with the foot bath.
Here we are.
The lady of the court gestures to Isabel's shoes.
May I?
Oh, I can take them off.
No, please, allow me.
A lady like you don't want to be touching my dirty old shoes.
Oh no, it would be my honor. I wanted to wash your daughter's feet, but there's another lady in the court who got to her before I did. People can be very pushy around here.
The lady of the court unlaces Isabel's shoes and takes them off, exposing Isabel's dirty, ragged stockings.
Pardon my stockings. They're full of holes.
We'll get you new ones.
Oh, thanks much, but I can repair them.
No need. We have plenty to spare.
The lady of the court gingerly removes Isabel's crusty stockings.
Don't look at my feet. They're ugly as rocks.
No, they aren't. They're beautiful. They've been through so much. You have the feet of a biblical woman like Ruth or Abraham's Sarah. These are feet that have walked through the desert.
Well, they've walked through plenty of mud.
Just hike up your skirts a bit so we don't get them wet.
Forgive my skirts. They looked fine before I left. They're a mess now.
But you're a traveler. Please don't apologize.
Isabel hikes up her skirts, exposing the bruised and mud-stained legs. The lady of the court puts Isabel's feet in the foot bath.
How does this feel? Is the water warm enough for you?
Yes, thank you. It's lovely.
We'll leave your feet in there for a bit and let them soak.
I'm not keeping you from anything, am I?
Oh, please. I'd rather be here with you than with anyone in this horrible port. Let's freshen our cups. What may I call you?
Isabel would be fine.
Please, call me Nicole.
All right.
Do you have other daughters, Isabel?
No, just the sons. I had another girl before I had Joan, but the baby died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It happens. Every family loses a few. I know a woman who lost 4 of her children all in 1 year.
How awful.
She has one boy left, but he was born with a hunchback and not much good for anything. Wouldn't you know he'd be the one to survive?
You have to wonder about God's plan, don't you?
You do. Then there's the Lebecs. Wonderful people. They'd do anything for you. Good fun, too. Nancy, the mother, could make you laugh. Wicked good humor. But she was never mean. You could confide in her.
How nice to have a friend like that.
She's gone. The whole family got slaughtered one night by the English. They was killed in the most horrible way, from baby to grandma. No mercy. No family left to bury him. My husband had to see to that. He got together a shoveling crew, made the crosses, 8 in all.
What a terrible, tragic thing.
Yes, 'twas.
Isabel, your daughter is going to save us.
Oh, well, we'll see.
She is. She is going to turn this war around.
That's what I'm told.
This must be overwhelming for you.
It is. Yes.
I understand. I do. I'm a mother as well.
Oh, how many children?
3 girls.
How nice to have so many daughters.
Well, they're not like your Joan. They're all a bit spoiled, I'm afraid.
You have to be firm with them. You can't just give a child everything it wants. Otherwise, they think the world is theirs.
You're so right. I try, but we're titled, and the world is theirs in a sense. It's hard to tell them otherwise.
Do you teach them their prayers?
Oh, yes. I take the girls to services every Sunday, but they're still a little immature spiritually. They tend to drift during Mass, but they're good girls and very clever. The oldest 2 are musically gifted. Jeanette sings, and her sister Mimi plays the lute.
How lovely.
And my youngest, Colette, is interested in textiles. She's only 9, but she knows how to work a loom. She wove a shawl for me.
How nice to have a daughter that makes things for you. Lucky you.
Yes. But tell me more about Joan. What was she like as a little girl?
Well, she had a mind of her own, like all kiddies do. But she was more stubborn than most. She never backed down, you know.
Of course, that makes sense. And I'm sure she was quite charismatic as a child.
Charismatic.
You must have seen that there was something special about her.
She's always been a bit different, yes.
Tell me a story about her.
Story. Can't think of one right now.
Did she ever perform any miracles?
Well, she once got some goats back in their pens. That's a miracle if you know goats.
So animals would come to her. They trusted her.
I suppose. She's always been kind to them.
Well, you see, that's one of the signs. When St. Margaret was a child, wild doves would land on her hands, and St. Daria was friends with a lion.
My daughter is no saint. She's not perfect, believe me. We've had our ups and downs.
Well, who doesn't? I love my girls to death, but there are times when I'd like to smack them.
Oh, I've done that.
Have you?
Oh, sure. You have to when they get too smart with you. A good smack and lots of chores keeps them in line.
I'm sure that's what makes Joan so determined.
No, she's never been one to back down.
And that Joan has grown up in humble circumstances. The poor are so much closer to God than those born into wealth.
We're not poor. My husband runs a flock of 80 sheep.
Oh, I didn't mean street poor. I meant like Jesus's family, humble but hardworking. Do you know what I'm saying?
We do all right. Our kids never went hungry.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No, just had to set things straight.
What I was trying to say in my own very stupid, clumsy way is that I'm so in awe of you. To have gone through so much and to raise a daughter who is such a gift to the world, it makes me ashamed that with all my privilege, that I'm not doing better with my own daughters, to make them care about deeper things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a woman in my village who don't think I've done such a good job. They think I raised a strange daughter.
They're just small-minded.
But my friend Nancy understood Joan. Nancy had a lively mind. She learned herself how to read a bit. She was going to teach me. And I wanted Joni to learn.
Oh, I can have my daughter's tutor teach Joan.
Oh, you would? That would be a wonderful thing. I'd love for her to be able to read.
Listen, when she gets back from the war, we'll have her stay with us at our country home. It's beautiful out there. She can live with us for a couple of months.
Well, I don't want to put you out.
No, we'd love to have her. She'll have wonderful meals, and our tutor will teach her how to write and have her reading all of the great texts. He'll instruct her in music and drawing as well.
I don't think she'd like that arty stuff.
Well, you don't know. She's never been exposed to it.
Isabel takes her feet out of the foot bath.
Here, let me dry you.
I can do it, thank you.
Would you like some more mead?
No, I had enough. I want to see my daughter now.
I'm sorry. Did I say something to offend you?
It's not like my Joni don't eat well in her own home. I know how to feed my girl.
I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant.
But I'm sure she'd rather stay with you and have her mind made smart than come back home and watch a bunch of dirty sheep.
I don't want you to think in any way that I don't respect where she's come from. I know you've raised her in a lovely home.
It's a shite hole. I'll tell you what, Nicole. You take Joni and send your daughters to me. I'll put them to work picking dung balls out of sheep's arses.
Oh, how fabulous. I adore you.
A chamberlain enters.
Madame, the maid would like her mother to know that she'll be available to see her after dinner.
After dinner? Who is he?
I'm the maid's chamberlain, madam.
I've been waiting for her since dawn.
She can't be disturbed, madam. She's having her time with St. Catherine.
Oh, bloody St. Catherine.
Excuse me.
You tell my daughter that I've had it. I'm not waiting around for her anymore.
This woman has walked 300 miles to be with her daughter. You damn well better take her to see her right now.
All right, madame.
I'm going to have a good talk with that girl, straighten her out.
You're a great lady, Isabel. Don't let anyone push you around.
I'm going to give her a good talking to. Her and that so-and-so saint of hers. Ridiculous.
This way, madame.
Isabel follows the chamberlain.
I'm not going to be treated like some sorry sack, hoping my daughter will pay me some mind.
As Isabel and the chamberlain exit, the set starts to transition to the chapel. We hear Isabel still carping as she re-enters.
Who does she think she is, leaving me in a corner like some dirty old bucket? Shame on her.
Isabel is stopped short as the chapel is revealed to her, lit by dozens of candles, a beautiful, intimate, holy place. We see Joan standing there, glowing in a soft white robe, her face open and serene as in a post-prayer state. She truly looks like she has been communing with the divine in transition from a scruffy farm girl to a young saint. The effect should be breathtaking.
Hello, Mama. There you are.
Oh, Joni. Oh, my girl.
What is it, Mama?
Oh, Joni.
Isabel is overwhelmed and drops to her knees. She kisses her daughter's hand while Joan gently pets her mother's head.
Bless your heart, Mama. Bless your heart.
Lights fade to black. 2, Scene 1. We are in a fancy antechamber where the food of a table of food has been laid out for the arcs. Isabel, Jacques, and Pierre enter, wearing their finest clothes. Pierre starts making himself a plate.
You should see the room they put us in. Oh, it's grand.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, Ma.
Ridiculous big. Can't get a proper room with ceilings that high.
That's what tapestries are for, Dad.
That's right. They keep the walls all nice and cozy.
How long does it take to make one of them?
2 years about.
That's a lot of labor to warm up a room.
He's just saying that. He loves the room. Couldn't get him off the bed. Sweetheart, do they have any unicorns here?
Unicorns?
Like the one in the tapestry?
No, Ma. Unicorns ain't real.
That's what I said.
Well, I thought because all the other things was real, the birds, the flowers and all. Jacques, you was naming all the flowers.
But horses don't grow horns, you understand? Cows, rams, the ones with cloven hooves grow horns. You'll never find a horn on a horse.
All right, fine.
Don't you know why you wouldn't take my word for it? Why'd you leave some bloody picture on a rug?
Oh, shut up. Where's Joni?
She'll be here in a bit. They're putting her armor on.
She's wearing armor, not a dress?
Yeah, Ma.
Why?
Well, they want her that way.
Why aren't you wearing your armor?
I don't know. They didn't ask for it.
Did you see much combat?
Yeah, of course I did.
Still any English?
Ain't about how many you killed, Dad. It's about leadership.
So you're up on your horse in your fancy armor, just waving your sword around.
Stop. All we care about is that our boy is here with us and didn't get hurt.
Didn't seem to be the case with his sister.
She's fine, Dad. She came out of it all right.
What are you talking about?
Fellow in the escort told me she took a hit.
My God! Why didn't you tell me?
Wanted it confirmed. Were you with her when it happened?
Not at the exact moment, no.
Why not?
It's a battle, Dad. You can't be by her side every fucking minute. But I was watching her back.
You don't watch someone's back in a charge, boy. You watch their bloody front.
I was right by her side, Dad. And she charged ahead of me. That's what she does. She gets all hopped up and she won't listen to no one.
But is she all right?
Yeah, Ma, she's fine. It's no big thing. She got hit by an arrow that got under her shoulder plate. She was so pumped up that she didn't even notice it until we got back to camp. And I saw the shaft sticking out of her. I got someone to hold her down and I pulled it out. It's no big deal.
All right, she pulled it out herself.
Yeah, well, we're going to hear a lot of things, aren't you?
Does she have a terrible wound?
Nah, I got it out clean. She's fine, Ma. I wouldn't even have mentioned it. But people got to go talking. Don't you know why Dad had to bring it up?
Brought it up because it needs to be discussed. Your job is to look after her.
Have you ever fought in a war? No. Were you there? No. And whoever told you she pulled out her own arrow is a liar.
All right, sweetheart.
I'm the one got her back to camp. I'm the one who calmed her down and got the arrow out. And she cried like a baby while I did it.
We'll see what you do if you ever get hit.
Yeah, that takes skill not to get hit.
For God's sake, both of you, stop. It's a wonderful day. Let's all count our blessings and be happy. Are you counting your blessings?
Every fucking one of them, Ma.
Joan comes in dressed for the ceremony in armor and a surcoat.
Hey, Ma. Hello, Da.
Joni, there you are. Oh, look at you.
How are you, girl?
Great, Da. Feeling great. It's a big day. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here. Glad to see you.
Come here. Give us a hug.
Isabel tries to give Joan a hug through the breastplate.
Oh, I wish I could give you a proper squeeze. Hard to get around all this metal they have you in. Can't be too comfortable for you.
I'm used to it, Ma.
Are you all right? We heard you had an arrow go through your chest.
Not the chest, just the shoulder. It was nothing. The wound closed up in a week. Didn't even pus.
Had you prayed that morning?
Yeah, of course. I always pray before a battle.
I was just wondering why St. Catherine would let you get hit. She's supposed to be looking after you.
She is, Ma, she is. She let one through to test me. And it was good for my reputation. Your men respect you more when you take a hit.
Well, let's hope that St. Catherine don't put you through any more of these tests.
Yeah, well, you like your room?
Oh, yes. It's very grand. I still can't believe they're putting us up like this.
Well, you're my mom and dad.
And did you know? They picked us up at our house in a carriage with an escort and all. I spent the whole 2 weeks without once touching the ground. Your father walked some of the way. He got restless.
My arse got sort of sitting there, just couldn't take it.
Me? I couldn't have been happier just leaning back, watching the world go by. It was lovely.
I'm glad, Ma. I told Charles I didn't want you having to foot it, so he offered it up.
You call the king by his first name.
It's cheeky, but she gets away with it.
Not cheeky, we're friends. Did you tell them about the coat of arms?
Not yet.
Charles is having a coat of arms made for us.
Well, that's fancy. Don't know if we need one.
Why not, Ma? It's a nice thing to have. You can hang it in the house. I also asked Charles to waive your taxes.
I can pay my own taxes. Don't need you asking favors for me.
It's not a favor. I'm making him a king. He owes me.
Don't owe me.
I'm just trying to make things easier for you, Dad.
Don't need your help. Don't need my daughter managing my business.
Why is he being this way?
We'll talk about this later.
What the hell, Dad?
A scribe enters with his writing kit.
Excuse me, mademoiselle. Are you ready for your letter?
Yeah. I have some business I have to do. The Duke of Burgundy won't make peace with us, and we just can't fucking have that.
Oh, do you want us to leave?
No, you can stay. I just need to put my words together.
Joan turns away and bows her head to focus, while the scribe sets up his portable desk.
I'm the maid's mother. And this is her father. We just come from Don Remy.
A pleasure to meet you both.
That's a clever little thing.
Yes, 'tis.
Nothing more to be said. The scribe finishes setting up and waits for Joan to come out of her meditation.
Right? I'm ready.
Go ahead, mademoiselle.
O soon-to-be defeated son of Burgundy, your arrogance offends the maid who summons you to make no more war on France. You will win no more battles against the maid who has the support of God Almighty himself. Hand over to my king all the towns you have taken and plundered. If you will not do so, beware, the maid will come after you to your great misfortune. God and the maid will strike you down, and your soldiers' blood will soak the ground and water the lilies of France that will spring up in the path of your defeat. Heed my warning, or accept God's wrath.
Is that all, mademoiselle?
Yes, that should do it.
Would you like to sign?
The scribe dips the pen and hands it to Joan. She bends over the parchment and makes her mark.
I want this sent right away.
Yes, mademoiselle. And the Dauphin would like a quick word with you, if you wouldn't mind.
All right. Gotta do this.
Are you coming back?
I'll meet you at the cathedral.
We'll be together, won't we? Your brother said we'd all be standing together.
Oh no, Ma. We'll see.
Joan leaves with the scribe.
We're gonna send that out? What she said?
Yeah.
Seems reckless to me, spouting off threats like that to the English. The Dauphin allows this?
She's the maid, Dash. He lets her do anything.
What about his ministers? They approve of this?
They don't like it much, but they're a bunch of pompous farts. You can't stand that girl. Can't stand that a girl gets a better seat at the table than them.
They could get the Dauphin to turn on her, you know.
Nah, they won't.
They will if she gets out of hand. You need to pull her back.
She's winning us the war. Why would I pull her back?
All it takes is if she trips up once.
She's not going to trip up, Dad. I'm watching out for her.
You weren't watching out for her when she got shot with that bloody arrow.
Jacques, don't start up again. Have some mead. It's lovely stuff. They make their mead with special royal honey. We should keep some bees. When we get home, let's see about setting up some hives. You're doing all right there, Dad?
Doing fine.
We're just all full of nerves is all, being at a fancy coronation. But it's a lovely thing that we're all here together. And look at you. How handsome. I'm so proud of you. Takes my breath away how proud I am of you, of both of you, ready to burst.
Jacques doesn't say anything, stares at his cup.
Oh, cheer up, Dad. It's a wonderful day.
Blackout. Scene 2. We're back in the Ark house. Pierre is with Jacques and Isabel. They're no longer in their fine clothes. Jacques is listening to Pierre, stone-faced, while Isabel listens with her hand to her mouth.
Joan said she could take the town with just 100 men. But when we got there must have been 6,000 Englishes waiting for us. So we all headed for the castle to make our retreat. But when we got there, we was all backed up at the bridge. The fucking guards in the tower. They saw her banner. They knew she was out there. But the bastard cowards started lowering the gates. I tried to get us through before they shut us out. I was yelling at Joan to keep her moving, but she was just sat on her horse with her look on her eyes. The bloody self-righteous look of hers. I should have stuck her horse in the ours to make it bolt through the line, but we was all pressed together and my arm was pinned. You can't see a fucking thing with your visor down.
Don't want your excuses. Just tell us what happened.
So then the Englishes caught up to us and they pulled us off our horses. She weren't scared of nothing, but just kind of pissed off. Like, what the hell? This weren't part of the plan, you know?
Are they treating her all right?
Yeah, she's a celebrity. They're not going to mess with her. And once Charles pays her ransom, they'll let her go.
You think he'll get her out?
Sure not. They make these kind of deals all the time. It's nothing to worry about. She'll be fine.
That sounds hopeful. Don't it, Jacques?
Jacques doesn't answer.
She's fine, Ma. She's going to be fine.
Jacques?
He still won't answer.
Jacques?
Jacques gets up and walks out. Scene 3. Jacques and Isabel are now with Father Gilbert.
So, Father, it seems that the king ain't going to pay for Joni's release. So Jacques and me been talking about selling off the land and the animals to pay for her ransom. But we're not sure that'd be enough. We was thinking that if we got some help from the church, and with all these pilgrims coming through, we could take up a collection.
Isabel, we're going to do everything we can, but it may turn out that the English won't release her for any price.
But why not?
It seems, from what I've heard, that they're keeping her to put her on trial.
What for? You don't put commanders on trial. That ain't part of the rules of war.
It's a church trial.
What's the church got to do with it?
They want to try her for heresy.
Oh, sweet God.
Where'd you hear this?
From a cleric who works for the Bishop of Bellecour.
The bishop will vouch for her, won't he? He wrote that good report on Joni when he examined her.
It won't count for much, I'm afraid. The English will want to set up their own tests.
Will there be anyone there to defend her?
Oh, yes. Some of the monks on the panel are quite decent. In fact, I know a priest who I was on a retreat with. That was one of the brothers. I'll send him a letter and tell him to put a good word in for Joan.
What's that gonna do?
Any contact will help, Jacques. Believe me, I'm pulling every string that I can.
What if you went to Rome and talked to the Pope? I'm sure the Pope would stand up for Joni.
I don't know, Isabel. The Italians tend to look after their own, and the English know she's not a heretic. It's all political. They're just trying to save face.
You think that's true?
Of course it's political. What do you think?
I believe they just want to teach her a good lesson. The good news is, if she recants, they'll release her.
Recant what?
Her visions.
You mean St. Catherine?
Yes.
She should say St. Catherine ain't real.
Yes, that would help.
But that would be lying, wouldn't it? Couldn't she go to hell for that?
Whether St. Catherine actually appeared to Joan or not, that could be argued.
You told us her visions were real.
Yes, to a point.
Not to a point. You sat here in our house and told us to send our girl to war because of that bloody saint.
Oh, no. I said God commanded it, not St. Catherine.
You bloody did not.
Jacques, let him talk.
He's not going to give us a straight answer. He knows he gave us bad advice, and now he's giving us the runaround.
I beg to differ, Jacques. The question of whether a saint has the ultimate authority over the word of God is a very complex issue. It's not easy to explain to a layperson.
Because we're so bloody dense.
Jacques, I love this family. I love your daughter. I baptized her. I watched her grow up. I'm doing everything I can to save her.
Father, are you saying that if Joan denies St. Catherine, they'll let her go?
It's a strong possibility, yes.
You're saying she needs to stop believing in St. Catherine.
I'm saying she should pray directly to God for now.
And God will keep our Joni safe.
God will be there with her, whatever she has to endure.
What do you mean?
Isabel, God has plans for us that only He understands.
That gets you off the hook, don't it? God and his bloody plans.
Jacques, please.
Could they burn her?
Oh, best not to get ahead of ourselves.
No. Oh, no, I won't let that happen.
Of course not. We're going to do everything we can.
Father, I think God wants to bring our Joni home. I do believe that. After all the wondrous things she's done, that's his plan for her, don't you think?
Yes, of course. We'll keep praying for that.
Are there any special prayers I should start in on?
The Holy Rosary will still do. I'd continue with that. And your novenas, and as many votives as you wish to light at the church. And of course, I'll waive the fee.
Should I leave off praying to St. Catherine?
For now, I'd say so, yes.
Right. Will do. We'll get our Joni back.
Yes, we will. I have no doubt about it. We will bring her home. Oh, forgive me. I need to go to officiate at a wedding.
Thank you, Father.
Bless your heart, Isabel. Don't lose hope. Jacques, stay strong.
Father Gilbert takes his leave.
I need to go see Joni and explain to her about this St. Catherine business.
Englishers won't let you near her.
I'm her mother. They damn well will. And don't you get in my way, do you hear?
Not getting in your way.
You are, with your horrible doubting. I can't breathe around you. You're like a big, ugly rock sitting there, blocking everyone's way. No wonder our daughter took off.
It was you and your goddamn piety letting that priest make you think you birthed the second coming. You're ignorant, Izzy.
You hateful bastard.
You and your novenas. won't do you a bit of good. Its words is all arse kissing words to God who doesn't give two shites about us.
You wicked bastard! Go to hell!
Isabel starts punching at Jacques. He throws his arms around her and holds her.
Wait a minute. That's enough. Don't fall apart. Buck up now. You're going to calm yourself down, get your wits together. We're going to talk our girl into saving herself. Come on, now bear up. Not going to let those bastards beat us down, are we?
No. No, we won't.
We're going to go out there together and bring our girl home.
We will.
All right, then. Good to go. Good to go.
Fade out. Scene 4. Lights up on Joan in her cell. She is chained to a wooden pallet with shackles on her wrists and ankles. There is a latrine bucket set next to her. We hear the door to the cell being unlocked and the bolts sliding back. A guard lets Isabel in.
Joni.
Mom, how'd you get in here?
I talked to a monk on your trial. Brother Francis. He got me permission to see you. Your dad is here. He'd like to see you, but they'll only let one of us in. Oh, Joni, let me look at you.
Still here, Ma.
It's almost over, sweetheart. You'll be out of here soon enough. Oh, sweet girl. You're so thin. Are they giving you enough to eat?
It's enough, but it's foul.
Dad bought you apples from the orchard. He's talking to the guards about getting them into you.
Not hungry anymore.
You have to eat. You gotta keep your strength up. I'll talk to Brother Francis about getting you some proper food.
She looks at the manacles on Joan's wrists.
Look at these things. They're rubbing you raw. I'll bring in some of my salve and fix you right up. How are the guards treating you? Are they being respectful?
No, they're swine.
They haven't touched you.
Joan just shakes her head.
Seems like they don't empty your slop bucket much.
They like me to sit with my own stink.
I'll move it for now. Looks like you've been having the runs. I'll get you some cooked oats. That'll get you solid again.
St. Catherine has stopped talking to me, Ma. I don't know what I did wrong.
Nothing, sweetheart. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything wrong.
She's left me, Mama. It hurts.
Don't you worry about St. Catherine. Your mom is right here. I won't leave till the trial's over. And then we'll all go home.
Where's Pierre?
He's coming out to meet us. He'll be here in a day or two.
He should be getting the troops together to rescue me.
We tried, darling. The army people have all gone off in different directions.
Has he heard anything from Charles?
No, but you'll be out of here soon. This Brother Francis is quite impressed with you. He said that you've been holding your own beautifully. He says you can be a little cheeky sometimes.
I gotta defend myself, Ma.
I know, love. But it's just a matter of you giving in a little, just to make them feel like they made their point.
These people are out to get me. I can't give in to them.
They're dreadful people, I know. But you have to let them think you've learned your lesson. Do you understand? And then you'll be done with this whole awful thing, and you can come back home.
They want me to deny St. Catherine.
You'll do what you have to do.
Ma, you don't abandon your faith when you're at your darkest. That's not what you do.
Joni, you don't have to stop believing in God. I'm only talking about St. Catherine.
I'm not going to deny St. Catherine. I can't believe you're saying this.
Sweetheart, she's the one who got you into all of this trouble.
Why are you blaming her?
Joni, you just told me she left you.
That's not what I said.
She left you, sweetheart.
She does that. She comes and she goes. I had some ugly thoughts and she didn't want to come to me. It's my fault if I haven't received her with grace.
Joni, No one in the world could be in a state of grace in this terrible place. She's hurt you, love. She's left you alone in this horrible cell, and you don't owe her a thing.
I'm not going to deny her, not doing that.
Joan, look at me. They could burn you. Do you understand? You need to save yourself.
I can't do that to her.
Joni, she's not real. She was all in your head. You made her up in that brilliant, beautiful mind of yours.
Oh, Ma, no.
She was a wonderful creation, honey. She was. She made you brave and strong, and she helped you do remarkable things.
No.
Sweetheart, it's time to let her go.
You're siding with my enemies.
I'm not, love. I just want to bring you home.
I don't know you.
Oh, Joni.
Don't touch me. Sweet Jesus, go away. Guard, open the door.
Joni.
Go away.
The guard comes in.
Let's go.
You need to empty her bucket.
What?
I said you need to empty her bucket. My daughter is not an animal.
Go on. Get out.
Joni, I'm not like your St. Catherine. I'll never turn my back on you.
The guard takes Isabel out, and the door slams shut. Scene 5. The court of King Charles. The setting doesn't seem as grand as before. The light shifted to create a more muted scene. Isabel is with the lady of the court.
I want you to know that my girls and I pray for Joan every day. We've put a statue of St. Catherine in our chapel, and the girls go there every evening and light candles, and they pray for a full half hour.
The lady of the court brings out some folded notes.
They wrote these notes to give to Joan, just some words of encouragement.
She doesn't read.
Oh my gosh, of course. I'm so sorry. They're short. I can read them to you, and you can let Joan know what they say.
My daughter needs to be rescued. She doesn't need notes.
Yes, I know.
I've asked to see the king. I need to talk to him. He needs to find a way to save her. But I can't get in to see him. I was told to put my name on a list and come back in a month.
No, that isn't right.
So I thought a letter from me might help. I paid a scribe in the marketplace. If you could just get it to him as soon as you can, I'd much appreciate it.
Isabel hands the letter to the lady of the court.
Absolutely. I'll see what I can do. I don't have direct access to the king, but my husband knows the secretary of one of his ministers.
But we need to get it to the king direct. He's the one who loves our Joan.
Yes, of course. May I read this?
Yes, go ahead.
The lady of the court takes a moment to read the letter.
This is... Are you sure this is what you want to say?
What do you mean?
It's a body poem.
That bastard! This fellow swore to me he was following me word for word.
You have to be very careful with who you pick to write your letters.
I was. This man had his own booth. He was nicely dressed, and his hands were clean. He even gave me a choice of paper. I got the best kind. I paid extra for it, and look what he did.
There are so many unscrupulous people out there. We'll do this over. Monique, call the scribe, please. He'll be here in a minute.
What does it say?
Oh, we don't need to read it.
I'd like to know.
It's about your daughter. It's extremely crude.
Why would he write such a thing?
I don't know. Let's just tear it up, shall we?
He knew I was her mother. He knew I was in distress. Why would he want to do that to me?
People can be so vile.
I don't understand. I thought that my daughter was loved.
You called me, madame?
Yes. Madame Arc would like you to dictate a letter. Let's use your nicest paper.
Yes, madame.
I remember you. You took down a letter for my Joan. It was right before the coronation.
Yes, madame, I did.
Did you write many letters for her?
Quite a few, yes.
When was the last time you saw her?
Oh, about 2 weeks before she was captured.
Did you enjoy the time you spent with her?
Did I enjoy?
Did you talk about things with her? Did you have conversations? Was she jolly?
Jolly?
Silly word. I'm sorry. Never mind. I just wanted to know how she was.
Madame, whenever you're ready.
Having a hard time gathering my thoughts.
Take your time.
I don't know what to say.
What did you say to the other scribe?
I can't remember. Sorry, I'm still a little upset.
Take your time, dear.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You've been through a lot.
Shall I come back later, madame?
I think so, yes.
The scribe starts packing his kit.
Was that letter too harsh?
Excuse me?
The one she wrote to that duke before the coronation. Did she step on too many toes, do you think?
I don't know. I just write down the words.
Why don't you care more?
Madame?
You spent time with my daughter. You took down her words. Why aren't you more grieved that she's been taken?
I'm just trying to be professional, madame.
No one cares around here.
We care. Of course, we all care.
We do, madame. We care very much.
Then why isn't anything being done for her? Why didn't the king pay her ransom?
To be honest, madame, our treasury is quite depleted, and her ransom was set extremely high. It's the highest on record, it seems.
Which is a good thing, really. It shows how much she's valued. The English will want to take good care of her.
She's chained to a wall in the dark. She can barely move. Her guards are always trying to touch her. Does the king know how much she's suffering?
I'll make sure he knows. I'll write a letter to the king myself.
They're going to burn my girl. Do you understand?
The lady of the court nods to the scribe that he should go. The scribe exits and the lady of the court takes Isabel's hands.
Your daughter will be all right. I know it in my heart.
How do you know?
My daughters and I were talking about Joan this morning, and my youngest said to me, "You know, Mama, I had a dream last night that I was sitting next to the maid. We were at a big banquet and she was wearing the most beautiful dress and we were giggling together because we were the best of friends."
My daughter doesn't wear dresses.
Yes, of course. The dress is only a symbol of better times, don't you see?
The dress was dreamed up by a girl who eats peacock twice a week and goes to sleep in a nice soft bed. And Joan doesn't giggle. Never has. I don't know what your daughter was thinking.
She's just a little girl.
Is that all you people have to offer? A silly dream and some prayers in front of your fancy altars? That king of yours, he should be ashamed of himself the way he used my daughter.
Isabel, we're doing the best that we can. I feel sick about this. I love your daughter.
No, you don't. You don't know her. You never cleaned her nose or wiped her bum or picked the knots out of her hair. You never felt the weight against you when she fell asleep. You don't know the smell of her. She never hid her face behind your skirts or cried for you to pick her up. You never watched her grow up into something that's taller and smarter than you. You never knew her restlessness. And you don't know her fear. My child is so afraid.
Isabel, listen to me. Whatever happens, I know you'll be a comfort to her. That's all we can do when our children are hurting, to be there for them, to hold their hands and sing to them and tuck them in.
For God's sake, there's nothing to tuck her into. She's on a pallet with irons around her wrists, still calling out to her bloody saint.
Oh, Madame Marne, I don't know what else to do for you. I am so sorry, so very, very sorry. Please forgive me. I'm just a mother.
Oh, lady, bless your heart. And bless your daughters for their pretty dresses and their clever minds. Bless them for having the good manners to write notes to a girl who's about to be tied to a stake. You raised them up well.
Isabel leaves. Fade out. Scene 6. Isabel is now with Joan while the guard unshackles Joan's wrists and feet. The guard tosses Isabel a rough white linen gown, the burning dress.
She has to strip those clothes off before we put this on.
He stands there, waiting to see Joan naked.
We'd like some privacy, please.
The guard doesn't move.
For the love of God, have some decency.
No witchy business now.
The guard leaves.
Stand up, sweetheart. There you go.
Joan stands up, and Isabel starts to help her, unlacing her jerkin.
Tell me some stories, Mama.
Well, let's see. We had our lambing season, and it all went fairly well. 12 of the ewes had babies, and only one was a stillborn. But one of the ewes got killed by some dogs, so we had an orphan lamb. So it all worked out. Your dad was able to tuck the orphan in with the ewe that lost her lamb, and she was happy to have it.
Glad the little lamb found a mama.
Yes, they're both very content. And let's see, what else can I tell you? The Bonaire boy got married.
Good for him. He needed a girl.
Yeah, seems he found the right one.
Don't be sad that I never had a fellow, Ma. I would have made a lousy wife.
I know, honey. You would have been a wretch.
Isabel helps Joan off with the rest of her clothes, down to her undershorts and cloth that bound her breasts. Isabel dips a rag in the bucket of water and starts to gently wash her daughter.
What else? Oh, we've been having a lovely spring this year. The fields are greening up and there are wildflowers everywhere. The fairy tree girls have been out there picking them to make their silly flower crowns.
Silly girls.
They are, but they have their fun.
Does the air smell sweet?
Oh, very sweet. And you should see all the bees digging into those blossoms. Did I tell you? Your dad set us up with a couple of hives. We'll have our own honey in a month or two.
I remember when you'd take me to the fair. You'd buy me a chunk of honeycomb from the bee man. I liked to chew the wax after I sucked all the sweet out of it.
You loved your honeycomb.
And I loved the puppet shows.
You did.
I laughed when the puppets hit each other. I don't know why. It was cruel.
They were just puppets, sweetheart. That's why you laughed.
But I believed it.
Yes, you did.
Mama, do you remember that little rag doll you made for me?
Yes.
I was so mean about it. I threw it on the floor. I was mad that I couldn't go out with Dad and the brothers, and the doll made me feel like a baby. I didn't mean to throw it on the floor. It was soft, and you stitched a smile on her face, and I just threw it on the floor. I love that dolly, Mama. I'm so sorry.
Oh, honey, you were just a little girl. I know you didn't mean it.
Isabel gently wipes her tears. Joan is trembling.
Here, let's get you covered up now.
Isabel helps Joan on with the burning dress. Joan's knees start to buckle with terror.
Mama!
Isabel holds on to her.
Come, let's sit for a bit.
Isabel cradles Joan.
I'm scared.
I know, love.
Oh, God. It'll hurt.
Listen, I saw St. Catherine last night. I was saying my prayers and she appeared to me. Oh, she was beautiful. She just lit up the room. She said she had to be away from you because she was sent to look after a child who'd fallen down a well. But she thought of you every day, and you're not to despair. She told me she's going to be with you. She said you should just keep looking up at the sky, and she'll take you up with her before the flames even reach you. She said you won't feel any pain.
Mama.
It's true. St. Catherine loves you, and she'll be there. Just keep looking up at the sky.
Time to go.
Isabel helps Joan up and keeps hold of her until she releases her to the guard. As Joan is taken up the stairs, Isabel keeps talking to her.
My girl, I love you. I love you so.
As soon as Joan is gone, the horror overtakes Isabel, and she is wrenched with grieving wails. We hear the sound of a crowd outside. Isabel goes to the prison window and calls out for Joan one more time.
Darling!
Scene 7. Lights up on Jacques.
Jacques Arc would not allow his wife to be there at the burning. He sent her off to a chapel, carried to the other end of the city where she'd be spared the smell of the smoke. He was told the crowds would be thick, and if he wanted to be anywhere near his daughter, that he had to get there early. He took his place near the stake before dawn and watched as the pitch-covered kindlings and logs were brought in. He stood his ground, the square filled up, and he shut his ears to all the ugly talk. When his daughter's cart rolled up, he raised his hand so she could see him. He wanted her to know that her da was proud of her. He wanted her to know that her da had her back. He watched. He watched. He never took his eyes off his child and saw her through her agony. Once it was over, Jacques felt it was his duty to stay until every last trace of his girl was gone. Relic traders rushed the mound to collect his daughter's blackened bones to sell as souvenirs. Then soldiers came and beat them back and shoveled the smoking mess into buckets to throw in the rivers. A monk who was there to cleanse the spot with holy water scooped a fistful of ash into a rag and gave the bundle to Jacques. And the monk led Jacques out of the square because the maid's father had lost his sight.
Lights up on Pierre.
Pierre had shown up for the burning as well, but he spent most of the time in the tavern drinking himself sick. He paid his par bill with a hank of his sister's hair that he had kept in a pouch, along with the tip of the arrow he'd once pulled from her flesh. He went back to the army, drank some more, and prayed to God that he'd get hit.
Lights up on Isabel.
Jacques died in the ox cart on the way home. Isabel buried her husband next to their daughter's ashes up on a grassy hill where Joan first had her visions. Isabel Arc was never going to get over it. Never. But she wasn't going to fade away in the dark of an empty house. She got herself a proper horse and wagon, and she traveled. she learned herself to read. She went to Rome and she met with the Pope and told that man in the hat that her daughter was no bloody heretic. She faced a tribunal of clergy, 3 rows of them in robes black as crows, all of them just waiting for the poor, dim peasant woman to fall to pieces. But she didn't. Isabel Ark stared those bastards down and she cleared her Joni's name. Isabel Ark still went to church, but she didn't talk to priests. She talked directly to God Almighty himself and raged at him at will. She had no fear of him, nor of death. She planned on shaking her fists for all eternity.
Lights transition to reveal that Isabel is standing on the grassy mound that is scattered with a meadow of flowers. Framed by the blue sky, she listens to bird song, and the soft hum of bees.
You hear those birds? How do they keep it up all day? It must be for pure enjoyment. And look at all these wild flowers. How do such delicate things manage to push their way up out of dirt? And all those silly bees digging into those blossoms, sucking up the nectar, not giving up. Oh, the greedy, greedy things. And smell that air, so full of the sweetness of grass and bud and life. And the sky, such a clear, clean blue. This is what made my daughter's heart so large. She didn't need to conjure up some saint. This, all this is pure goodness. I had a daughter once.
Lights fade. End of play.
Thank you. That's all I have to say is thank you. That was Mother of the Maid by Jane Anderson. In our cast, you heard as Isabel,
Stacy Skinner,
Joan,
Julie Luzier,
Jacques, Pierre and the prison guard,
Steve Travers,
Father Gilbert, the chamberlain and the court scribe,
And Kendall.
the lady of the court,
Melissa Davenport.
with stage directions read by.
Taylor Rouliard.
Hey, check us out. We are on Facebook. Please join our Facebook group. That's Newlandia Theater to find an archive of the previous readings in this series all gathered in one convenient place. You can also find links to all of those down below in the video description. And like tonight's reading, they feature some of the best actors in the Delaware Valley. That's it for tonight. Our next live script reading is one for the cat lovers and the cat haters. The play is Wink by Jen Silverman, and that'll be on April 15th. Until then, thank you very much for watching and have a good night. And we are off the air, guys.